Hi everyone, I have an all-standing Pilates class for you today. For equipment, you're going to need a set of light hand weights. I'm using a set of 2 pounds. You don't have to go much heavier than that. A couple pounds is great. If you don't have light hand weights, household objects work. You could grab lacrosse balls, soup cans, full water bottles. You can kind of get creative. And at any point, if you need to modify, you can always drop them and just go body weight only. You're also going to want a stool or a chair with a high back or a counter, just something you can put your hands on that is somewhere between in like thigh height range-ish, okay? So I have my stool, but I'm going to keep it off to the side because we won't use it till a little later. Now, absolutely not necessary, but if you do want to amp up the challenge, you do have the option to wear ankle weights for this. It won't make a difference at the start of class really, but as we get into more lower body focus, it is a way to dial up the intensity. Now, we're going to have a big emphasis on balance and lower leg work throughout, so I highly, highly, highly recommend you do this class barefoot. If you spend a lot of time wearing shoes that kind of constrict your toes and smush them together, and balance is a big issue, you also might want to play around with wearing toe spacers during this class. If you have any questions about that, I have a bunch of videos and workshops that kind of talk about foot function more, and that might be of interest to you. But how about I stop talking and we get to class? So we're going to grab our weights. We're going to start standing. We're going to be standing the whole time. And I want you to find a neutral position so your feet are about hips distance apart. We're neutral through the pelvis. And I just want your arms down by your side and let the weight of those hand weights kind of gently pull your shoulders down. Now you can keep your eyes open or you can close them if you'd like. We're going to just start with some diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and as we inhale through the nose, we're going to focus on expanding down into the rib cage three-dimensionally. We're going to exhale slowly out through the mouth. As we do, the ribs move gently in and down. There's a 360 brace of that abdominal wall. We inhale and expand into the rib cage, pelvic floor relaxes. We exhale, brace to the abdominal wall, little lift to the pelvic floor. Notice if when you inhale, your shoulders are wanting to shrug up towards your ears. We don't want that to happen, so really let them hang heavy. We're directing the breath down into our diaphragm, not holding tension through the neck and shoulders. One more like this. And then from here, I want you to reach those weights forward, palms in towards each other, parallel. Now, as we inhale, one arm is going to go up, the other is going to lower down. And as you exhale, we're just going to come back to that starting position. Alternate. Inhale, other arm goes up. Exhale, back to chest height. So we're keeping the diaphragmatic breathing going. We are just adding in the movement of our arms here. We inhale, they move up and down. We exhale to bring them back through center. Stay open through the chest. One more time each side. And I want you to pause with those arms parallel to the floor. Now we're going to take it into rotation. As you inhale, we're going to rotate open as one arm sweeps in that direction. As you exhale, engage through your obliques to come back through center. Take it over to the other side. The twist is initiating from our mid-spine. Our hips are staying pointing forward. One more each side. Now from here, I want you to separate your feet just a smidge wider, like an inch or two. We are going to do a squat, and as we squat down, I want you to row the elbows back. Now as we come up, we're going to press the weights forward, and we're going to shift our weight into the right leg, and we're going to march that left knee up. We're going to squat down, and we're going to take the same thing over to the left. So you inhale to lower to your squat. Exhale, connect to your core, fire through the glutes, balance. Slow and stable. Now we're going to keep this going, but we are going to add back in that rotation when we're at the top. So kind of putting the pieces together. Last time here. And then we're just going to add in a rotation at the top. So as you exhale, we come to balance on that right leg. Now we're going to twist open to the left. So as you inhale, the left arm sweeps open, so you're rotating in the direction of that marched up leg. You exhale to bring it back through center. Inhale, lower into your squat, take it to the other side. Exhale, march up. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, back through center. Inhale, lower down. Keep moving side to side like that with your breath. One more time each side. Last time. And then I want you to come to your squat and I want you to pause. Now I want you to separate your feet a little wider so that we're in the semi-squat position, not as low as you can go. Now from here, we're just going to pivot on the heels and we're going to internally rotate. And then we're going to bring them back, pointing forward. And then we're going to externally rotate, point them forward. So we're mobilizing through the hip joints here. We're seeing our knees and our toes turn outward and inward, but we're really thinking about where the movement originates, right in the hip joint. One more and then we'll hold externally rotate and we're going to come into some core work. So next time your feet are externally rotated, you're going to separate them even farther. So we're in the sumo squat position. Make sure you're active through the glutes so the knees are tracking in line with your middle to pinky toes. And we're going to come upright through the torso. So you don't have to be in your absolute lowest squat. Now I want you to goalpost the arms. We're going to come into some core work. We're going to start with a side bend with a reach, just going side to side. So as you inhale, I want you to reach your right arm up as you side bend over to the left. Exhale, engage the obliques, bring yourself upright, and then just take it over to the other side. So when we think standing Pilates, you may have thought bar, but just to clarify, this is not a bar class. I'm not a bar instructor. I don't even have a dance background. Actually, give myself some credit, that is a lie. I was like low-key a phenomenal tap dancer growing up. I don't know if tap dance counts. We're going to isolate one side up next. I want you to pause at goalpost. I want you to reach your right arm up. I want you to lower your left arm. We're going to take it to a windmill. So instead of a side bend, I almost want you to think hinge and rotate. Look up at that right arm and then exhale. Come upright. Inhale, rotate, look up. Exhale, up. It's a small movement. So think of rotating through the mid-spine. Gaze shifts up at that top hand and upright. Keep going, moving with your breath. Back to my illustrious tap dancing career, because now I can't stop thinking about it. Growing up, we'd have annual recitals, and I swear every year my tap group had to wear huge baggy cargo pants. All the other troops or dance groups got cute outfits. Pause at the top. I want you to take your left arm. I want you to bend it to 90. We're going to do the same thing, but add in a serve the platter. So as you inhale, you're going to lower and you're going to reach this left arm forward. As you exhale, pull the elbow in, come upright. Your right arm stays pointing forward. But back to my story. So every year I would hope like, all right, give me a cute leotard, a skirt. Nope, basketball penny and tearaway pants. I'm still mad about it. Give me two more and then we're going to hold. So next time you lower down and reach this left arm forward, I want you to pause. Now we're going to stay in this kind of side bend, but we're going to rotate, sweeping this right arm parallel to the left. And then open up. Can you sink 1 inch lower in your sumo squat? So it's a little rotation. Open and close. So we have core. We also have shoulders working here. Just one more and you're going to hold the arms parallel. Hold them parallel so you're facing me. And now I just want you to reach those arms overhead and you're going to give me a little side bend pulse up and down. If it's too much with the arms overhead, bring the arms into your chest towards your center of gravity. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, arms stay overhead, 2, 1. Now I want you to come all the way upright, sink 1 inch lower, and we're just going to side bend side to side. So you can go over to the right and up, over the left, it's small, and up. So we're going to repeat that whole thing on the other side. Give me one more small side bend, alternating. And at the top, I want you to pause. You're going to lower your right arm, your left arm stays up. We're going to go into that windmill. So you look up at your top arm, exhale, bring it through center. Rotate as you go to the side, exhale it up. We're staying open across the collarbones, and I want you to check in with your lower body. Make sure those knees are still pressing outward, okay? We're not letting them buckle inside of our big toes. We're going to add in that cervical platter, so pause at the top, bend that right arm in. Now as you lower, extend the right arm forward, come up, pull the elbow in. Small movements here. Two more. And this time when you lower down and extend that right arm forward, you are going to pause. And now it's the top arm that is going to sweep down and open. Sink a little lower. Inhale it open. Exhale, square it off. So think chest slightly rotates up and then squares off to me. We have one more change to get through on this side. It'll be those little side bend pulses, arms overhead if possible. Two more. Last time. Pause when those arms are parallel. Sweep them overhead, biceps by the ear. It's a little pulse. A little pulse. Sink a little lower. Give me 8. 7. To modify, pull your arms in. 6. 5. 4, we come upright. 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way upright, sink a little lower in that squat. Now all we're going to do is straighten the legs, and as we do, you're going to sweep your arms down, shoulder height. Sweep them up as you sink in your sumo. And lower. So we're going to continue our upper body work up next, okay? We're going to have more of a posterior chain focus though. So we'll get some tricep work in. Focus on that back. 2 more. Last time. Now pause when you're up and pivoting on your heels. I just want you to point your feet forward as you bring the weights forward. Now we want our feet a little closer to hips distance apart, so just heel toe them in so they're hips distance or a smidge wider. So we're going to do a hinge, but we're going to do a deep bend of the knees, so it's kind of like a squatty hinge. And as we do, one arm goes overhead and the other sweeps back. So I'm going to turn to face the side so that you can see. So as we start to bend into the knees, hinge at the hips, one arm is going to reach overhead, the other is going to sweep back. And then we're going to bring it back up, arms parallel to the floor. Other side, press it back as the other continues to reach forward and up. One sweeps back, reach, reach, reach. Now I want you to maintain the connection to your core. So we need to be mindful that as we go into this, we're not flaring open through our rib cage and we're not excessively arching into our lower back. So think about keeping one arm parallel to the floor or maybe higher, and the other sweeps back. Stay open through the chest. Now we're going to keep this going, but we're just going to add in 4 pulses at the bottom. So next time you're at the bottom, pause, pulse the arms up for 2, 3, 4, stand up tall, other side. Reach, pulse them, 4, 3, 2, 1, up, other side. Keep it going. Length through the back of the neck. One more time each side, and then we're going to hold low. At the top, my palms face the floor, okay? Last time. And this time you're just going to stay low. After your 4 pulses, you're just going to switch the arms. Exhale, switch. Switch. Length through the arms, reach the tailbone back, open through the chest, connected to your core. Both arms are going to reach forward. We're going to do a little swimmer flutter. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Both arms go forward, and it's just a little flutter like you're swimming. Up, 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 alternating up, up, up. Reach them long. Reach the hips back. Brace through the core. Now we're going to stay in the hinge position. We're going to sweep the arms back, both of them, in 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to sweep both arms back so palms face the ceiling and lift your hips up a little bit. So we're not locked out through the knees, but they're a little straighter. And we have a big hinge with the torso. It's almost parallel to the floor, but doesn't have to be that far forward. Little straight arm lifts, up, up. Let's hit the triceps. Up, up. Reach the arms long and don't let your shoulders round forward. So we got to think open chest. We're going to hold with the arms lifted. We're going to squeeze in instead. Pulse 4, 3, 2, hold them up. Now squeeze in, as if you could touch the weights together. Into midline. We have a little bend stretch coming up, and then we're going to start this from the top. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's a little bend stretch from the elbows. Bend, reach. Like you're trying to punch someone behind you. Bend, reach. Bend, reach. We're going to start from the top. In 8, 7, arms a little higher. 6, 5, 4, come upright. In 3, arm sweeps forward. 2, 1, come upright, arm sweep forward. Now we're going to do that same thing from the top. Different rotation though. So now I want you to rotate so your palms face in towards each other, okay? We're going to start with that squatty hinge. One arm sweeps back as the other continues to reach forward. And then we come up through center, other side. So the arms are alternating. Add in the 4 pulses at the bottom. 4 with the arms. 3, 2, 1. Come up, switch. One more each side. Take it low. Pulse the arms up for 2, for 3, for 4. Stand it up tall. Other side for 4, for 3, for 2, 1. Hold low and just switch. Exhale, switch. So one arm sweeps back, one arm sweeps forward. You're not just swinging the arms though. I don't want momentum to totally take over. So it's controlled with your breath. Exhale, switch and pause. Switch and pause. Both arms overhead for that little swimmer. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Both arms sweep forward. Little flutters up and down, up and down. Don't hold your breath. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, arms sweep back. In 3, 2, 1. Both arms sweep back, palms are facing in. You can lift your hips a little higher, but don't lock out through the knees. Straight arm pulses. Up, up. We're hitting the triceps. Almost done with this upper body series. We'll put the weights down up next, for a little bit at least. We're going to squeeze into midline. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you squeeze in like you could clap your hands in. In, arms a little higher, a little straighter. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to bend stretch to finish. In 2, 1. Bend stretch, bend stretch. You can do it. Bend stretch right to the end. Almost there. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Lift the arms up 1 inch higher. You're done in 4, 3, 2, 1, stand it up. Whew. All right, put the weights down for now. We're gonna switch the focus into the lower body, and we're going to use our stool or whatever you're using. It can be a chair, it can be a counter with a high back. Grab it, move it in. You want to be about arm's distance away from your stool, and we're going to slide the hips back in a hinge position. Now really spread out through the left toes and ground down through this left foot, and then hands are going to come to the stool, and we're going to reach our right leg back, so we're in this kind of lunge position, but there's no weight in this back leg. Let's start by just lifting and lowering it. So as you exhale, reach long through that right leg, lift it up, and lower it down. Now it is a small lift. If we try to lift up too high, what tends to happen is where the movement comes from our lower back. I don't want the movement to come through our lower back. It is coming by firing into your glutes to lift the leg up. So bigger is not necessarily better at all. Now our right leg is moving and absolutely working, but throughout this series, it's the left leg, the stabilizing leg, that is really gonna have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Next time that leg goes up, I want you to hold it at a hover, and we're going to sweep it forward and out to the side, and then back around. So it goes up and out to the right, keep it at a hover if possible, and back. Now we're not opening up through the pelvis at all when we do this, so keep your hip bones pointing down, and it's just the leg sweeping within that hip joint. Now check in with your stationary left knee and make sure you're not locked out through the knee. So there's a softness and we keep reaching our hips back. Now next time this right leg sweeps up and out to the side, hold it to the side and just give me a little lift and lower. It taps the floor and lifts, taps and lifts. Equal length through both sides of the waist, so don't crunch one hip up. We're going to sweep this leg back to our starting position in 4, 3, 2, 1, I want you to sweep it back behind you so that we're in our starting position. Right leg is at a hover. Now we're going to bend the right knee in, and as we do, we're going to slide our hips back, bending deeper into the left knee as well, almost like we're going to sit in a chair. And then we're going to straighten through those legs as we hinge forward. So my chest is sort of lifting, I'm kind of coming into a squat position, and then a single leg deadlift position. So the legs straighten, and the knees bend. Now we're going to keep this going, but we're going to ramp up the challenge for our lower leg on this left side. We're going to add in a calf raise when the legs straighten. So add it and we come into this sort of hovering seated position. And then we're going to lift that left heel off of the floor, a little calf raise. Heel lower, slide the hips back, squat. Legs straighten. We come up into that calf raise. So we're going to repeat the movements we started this series with, but with this left heel lifted in our calf raise position. So next time you come into it, I want you to pause. That left heel is lifted. I want you to unlock through the knee though, and I want you to lift and lower your right leg just like we started with. So again, stationary left knee. It is unlocked. There's a little bend to it. Heel is lifted. We're going to hold the right leg at a hover and sweep it. Next time it lifts up, hold it up. You're going to sweep it forward. You're going to sweep it back. So repeating those 3 movements we did, just with this heel at a hover. Woo, left leg getting a little shaky. Next time, right leg sweeps up and out. Hold it up and out. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. You have the stool for support. You can put some weight into it. So we're going to kind of put some movements together that we did. Get ready to sweep the leg back to our starting position and lower your left heel in 3, 2, hold the right leg at a hover, sweep it back, lower your left heel down. So before we put everything together, we're going to do a pelvic rotation, okay? So reaching long through this right leg, I want you to take your left or your right hip, and I want you to start to peel it on top of the left, maybe getting that right arm to reach up overhead. So now our pelvis is open. You're unlocked through your standing left knee. And then we're going to square the hips off. So we're just rolling open and closing it. So when we put everything together, it's going to be this pelvic rotation. We're going to add in a calf raise, and we're going to add in that kind of squatting shift back, okay? So sort of all the movements we've done in this series so far, putting it together, right? So let's go. You're going to square it off, both hands to the stool. You bend both knees in as you slide those hips back like you're squatting. Now as you come forward, we're going to rise up onto the ball of the foot, and we roll open through the pelvis. So we got that calf raise going, that pelvic rotation. As we square things off, the left heel lowers. We shift the hips back. like we're sitting in an invisible chair. We come forward, we lift up, we rotate open. Woo! So balance, stability, core, lower leg working hard. If adding in the calf raise to all of this is too much, keep your heel down. We are going to finish in the open position, okay? Just give me a couple more. Last time. Back towards that squat. Forward, lift up into your calf raise, peel the pelvis open. Now we're just going to pulse that standing knee to finish. So your left knee bends and presses, trying to keep the heel lifted. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to push off the chair, right foot lands on the floor, and just give me a little side to side stretch. Woo, kind of shake it out. So we're gonna do that whole sequence on the other side. So I'm gonna take my stool and move it to the other end of my mat just so that I'm facing you when I rotate open. You don't have to though. So you wanna be about arm's distance away from your stool. And then we're gonna slide the hips back, long neutral spine in this hinge position. Spread out through your right toes and really ground down through that right foot. And then you're gonna reach the left leg long, and we're gonna start with the lift and lower of that straight back leg. As you lift, you're active through the core, and we're not arching into the lower back. We maintain neutral there. The lift comes by firing through the glutes. Now we're active through the quads, the front of the leg, because that is gonna help keep our legs straight. So if you notice your knee wanting to bend and kind of flop up, active through the quads, as if you could lift your kneecaps up. Oh, there's a piece of dog toy fuzz on my foot, and it's gonna drive me crazy. Keep going, I gotta get rid of this. Oh God, it's a lot of it. There we go. Next time that straight leg lifts up, hold it at a hover, and you're gonna sweep it up and out to the side and back. So the leg is rotating within your hip joint as it sweeps up and out to the left, and then back. Keep reaching the hips back. There's no crunching in this, so equal length through both sides of the waist. Don't hike one hip up. Make sure you're not locked out through your standing right knee. Now next time that left leg sweeps up and out to the left, hold it up and out to the left, lower and lift it, reaching it long. So we're gonna come through center. We're gonna crunch the knee in and out, adding in that calf raise. In 3, 2, 1. Hold it at a hover, sweep it back. Or we don't add in the calf raise just yet. To start, I want you to shift the hips back as you do, crunching the left knee in, bending into your right side, and then we straighten everything out. So you slide the hips back. So I'm staying neutral through the spine, but my chest is lifted here, and my chest is facing the floor here. Now we're going to keep this going, but we will just add in the calf raise of that right side. So as you straighten, we're going to lift up, little calf raise, and lower. Heel drops as the hips go back. Heel lifts without rolling out through the ankle, so you got to stay grounded through the big toe. Don't lift up by rolling around the big toe, go through the big toe. It's very important. So we're going to repeat those movements with the heel lifted. So next time you come, lift the heel, make sure unlock through your right leg though, and straight left leg lifts and lowers. Same rules apply with the heel lifted. There's no big arch to the lower back as the leg kicks up. There's a bracing of the core and a firing of the glutes. We're going to hold this left leg at a hover. We go back to our sweeps in 3, 2, hold it at a hover. You sweep it up and out to the left and back around. No wiggling through the hips. Keep reaching those hips back. We'll hold the leg up and out to the left. Coming up. Next time it sweeps up and out, hold it up and out, lift and lower. So we have the pelvis rolls coming up next. You're going to sweep the left leg back. You get to lower your right heel in 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep your left leg back, lower your right heel. So we'll start with the pelvic rolls. So you peel the left hip on top of the right, left arm to the ceiling if possible. Square it off. We lift. I'm not locked out straight through my stationary right side, and lower. Now we're going to keep this going, but we're going to put all those pieces together, okay? So we'll add back in the calf raise, and we'll add back in the bending of the knee, kind of shifting to that squat position. Give me one more like this, and then we put it all together. Let's go. So you come through square, bend into both knees, shift your hips back, lift the chest, squatting. As you come forward into that deadlift, you lift the heel, we peel open through the hips. Woo, can we get left arm up? We square off through the hips, heel lowers, we shift back. We come forward, we straighten, lift up, roll open. Our right hip is doing so much work to stabilize throughout this movement. You're going to give me 2 more and then we'll hold open. Next time you're in that side position, we're going to hold. Whew. Heel is lifted, little bend and stretch through the right knee. 8, 7, shaky. 6, we're so close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land on both feet. Give me that little side stretch. Woo! Okay, so we have one more section of class to go. We can take our stool and we can get it out of the way. We won't need it. We're going to grab our weights and we're going to center off to finish. So the weights are going to be optional. If you want some balance help, I would ditch the weights and instead do this next to a wall so you can have a hand on it, or do it facing a wall, even better, okay? So we're going to start with our legs externally rotated. So I want your heels together, and then one at a time, think of spiraling through the top of your femur, out, other side, rotate out, and then weights are just going to be at your chest to start. So from here, heels are together at the bottom. We're just going to do a calf raise, spread out through the toes. We lift up onto the balls of our feet and lower. Woo! Use your breath here and stay very active through your glutes. We're going straight up and down. Now we're going to start to turn this into a combo. At the top, it's going to be a bend of the knees, kind of like a diamond squat, okay? So at the top, you're going to pause, keep those heels lifted. You're going to bend the knees, go just about halfway down. You're going to come back up to the top, and then you're going to lower those heels. Now, if you got it, we're going to add in a press out of the weights. So as you lower, you're going to press those weights forward. Weights come into your chest as you lift. Heels come down. How low you go totally depends on a lot of things. Your knees, for one. You do not have to get as low as I do, or you may opt to go lower than I do. Whatever you're comfortable with. Now, next time we're at the bottom, though, whatever your bottom is, I just want you to pulse for me. Stay open to the chest. Now, what we've been doing so far, the heels have touched when they're at the bottom, when they're on the floor, but when they're lifted, they're apart. We're going to change that. I want you to keep the heels lifted, and I want you to come up tall to stand in 4, 3, 2, keep the heels lifted, just come up tall. Bring the weights into your chest. Now, I just want you to step the legs together so that now your heels are touching at the top, okay? And from here, we're going to go back to that diamond squat. Weights press out, you lower down. And as you come up, I want you to focus on squeezing the heels together, squeezing the inner thighs together. Heels are touching the whole time. Really push them in towards each other. Squeeze the inner thighs together as you rise up. Two more. Now this last time down, you're going to hold low and you're going to pulse for me. up and down. We're upright through the torso. We're pressing the heels in towards each other. Get ready to come to the top in 4. Elbows lifted, 3, 2, come all the way up to the top, weights in. And now we're gonna just step the feet out, lower the heels. We're gonna start from the top. Second time through is gonna be quicker. So to start, weights can just stay right at your chest. Start with the calf raise. So heels are together at the bottom, but they're separate at the top. Keep wrapping those thighs outward, staying externally rotated in the hip joint. Oh man, this is an overshare, but I forgot to put deodorant on before I started filming this. I do not smell good, and I need this class to be over so that I can fix that. Combo it with your squat. Heels lift, knees bend as you press. We come back up to the top, lower the heels. Next time you're in that squat, we're gonna pulse. Take it down to the bottom, pulse. Elbows stay lifted, so you're making a big circle with the arms. Keep the heels up. So we're gonna come up tall, and we're just gonna step the legs together so that the heels are touching at the top. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up to the top, weights can come to your chest. And now just step those legs together so your heels are pressing in, you're still externally rotated. We're gonna go down and up. You make the range of motion as big as you personally can. Squeeze the inner thighs together as you stand. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze at the top. Now, if you are going all the way down bum to heels, just note that when we go into the pulses, don't go down that far. One more full range, and then we'll hold low and pulse to finish. So next time down, don't go bum to heels. Maybe like halfway. We're just gonna pulse to finish. You're squeezing your heels in towards each other. Elbows stay lifted. Open through the chest. You got it. We're gonna cool it down after this. You're gonna step out wide. Weights off to the side. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up, lower your heels. Weights off to the side. Find a nice wide stance. And let's just forward fold. Whew. Grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and just sway side to side for a little bit of release. Settling in the center. Arms can hang out in the middle. Plant your right hand down. Twist open through the left. Maybe you bring that hand behind your back. Maybe you keep it reaching up to the ceiling. Straighten it up, come through center, other side. Option to bring the hand behind your back. Bring it through center, and now walk both hands over to the left, to the outside of that foot or shin. And then we're going to walk them over to the right, same deal. Coming through center, I want you to heel toe your feet in towards each other. And then very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to roll it up to stand. As you do, you're going to inhale, the arms are going to sweep up. Exhale, release, let them hang. One more time. Inhale, arms sweep up. And exhale, let it go. That is your class. Awesome work today. I'll see you next time. Hope you're feeling good after that.